Hello, I'm Dan Marr from the law firm of Hamlin Kerrigan. I'm an attorney here in New Hampshire for approximately 37 years and about 28 years in Massachusetts, practicing in both states. And I do one of my areas of practice is business law, also business litigation. But as the business law, I deal with a lot of leases. I deal with clients of mine creating commercial leases, both as a tenant and then also as a landlord. And I'm going to be focusing in on the tenant situation. And I'm not going to be focusing in on when you buy your own your own real estate and then you lease it back. It makes a lot of sense to do that, but that's a friendly lease. I'm talking about between a landlord that's a separate entity and the tenant itself. So I'm going to be talking about some of the key terms in that. Obviously, you're going to be talking about the economics of the case. I'm not going to talk about the rent, but I'm going to talk about some key points of a lease that you should be watching out for. One is it's very common for landlords to make it what's called triple net, which they have a property that you have one unit of several. It might be in a big building, office building. It might be in a mall. I have certainly plenty of clients that have several retail locations in malls. And there's something called common area maintenance. There's the snow plowing. There's the electrical for the outside lights. There's the um, landscaping. The roofs are generally not considered part of your premises, so they're taking care of the roof. All of those things are called common area maintenance. You want to understand what those terms are and what they aren't. You certainly don't want to be paying for the landlord's broker fees for leasing the space. You don't want to pay for other things that are really related to the landlord's benefit itself. If they're trying to get new tenants in there, you don't want to be part of the paying of that. You want to be dealing with stuff that actually benefits you. The snow plowing, the restriping of the parking lot, if there's a sewer issue, fixing that, the roofs themselves, all of those things are something that you want to make sure you understand are capital expenses, and if they're, or sorry, common area maintenance, and if they are something that's larger, like they're doing a capital expense, something large, you want to think about that with your tenant attorney to make sure that if you're agreeing to that, it's going to be amortized, paid out over time, so you're not getting one big lump sum that you find out that the landlord's spending $1 million on a new part of the project and you're going to be paying your share of that. You want to understand that. You also want to look very carefully on that CAM to understand what the common area maintenance, to understand what the historical costs have been, so you can factor that with your rent. Another thing you want to consider is whether or not they can move you. There's provisions sometimes in some of the leases I've seen, particularly in regards to malls, where they are insisting on the right to relocate you at their cost. But if you're in a particular location, you want to stay in that location. Now, if you're a 500 square foot restaurant in a food court of a mall, you have a lot less negotiating power than if you have a $20,000 or 20,000 square foot or 30 or 40,000 square foot anchor store. And that's part of the leverage process, and that's what you use your lawyers for to deal with that. Another thing that you want to keenly understand too is whether or not you can assign the lease. If you're in a franchise, one of your goals might be, or other circumstances, one of your goals might be to get up to a certain critical mass and then sell. Or you might want a retirement plan, and you might have a situation where, particularly if you have a longer term lease, maybe sometimes if the landlord has put in a lot of improvements to the property, you get a 10-year lease and then maybe 2 5-year options. In that situation, you want to have the ability to assign the lease to somebody similar situated. So if you have a franchise and you want to be able to sell it to another franchisee within the network, you want to do with it, or if you want to be able to sell the business itself, to the extent that you can negotiate that upfront as to an assignment, as to what circumstances that is, that's going to be better for you. You don't have the landlord sitting at the negotiating table when you're selling your business and you want to retire. Those are some key issues that I've dealt with. I've dealt with a lot of other issues, but those are some of the core issues that I look at in commercial leases, and I'm happy to talk to you. My name is Attorney Dan Marr. I've been practicing again for many, many years in New Hampshire and Massachusetts, do these leases in both states, both for the landlords in some circumstances and for the tenants. So I have experience and I'm happy to discuss these issues with you. I'm at 603-883-5501, 603-883-5501. Or you can check out our website, naturalllaw.com. That's naturalllaw.com. And we have these vlogs. I did a radio show through last year. A lot of useful information in there. So please check out our website and give me a call if you have any questions in regards to commercial leases. Thank you.